Walking through Rio from Bar to Lapa, discover the best of Rio de Janeiro. Have you ever wondered what it's like to experience Rio de Janeiro, and not just visit it? The truth is that most tourists only see the surface, but today, you'll dive into the most authentic, surprising and, why not, transformative side of the marvelous city. It's not just Christ the Redeemer or Sugarloaf Mountain. It's the breeze of Ipanema, the sound of life pulsing in Lapa, and the striking flavors of Rio's cuisine that make this place a universe apart. And the best part? All of this in incredible quality, in the best Rio de Janeiro 4K style, as if you were here, right now. So take advantage now, subscribe to the channel, leave a naughty like if you love a good trip with soul, and share this video with someone who needs to discover the real Brazil. Because Rio can't be explained. It's lived, and that's exactly what you're going to do from now on. Let's go? Traveling to Rio de Janeiro means learning to deal with the unpredictable weather. The Rio sun can shine brightly in the morning, but suddenly, the rain takes over. This may seem like an inconvenience to many tourists, but in fact, it is an invitation to explore Rio in a more authentic way. When the sky is covered in clouds and the city's pace slows down, you can take advantage of the indoor options that are part of Rio's DNA. Visit the Museum of Modern Art, MAM, which combines art with spectacular views of Guanabara Bay, or discover the delights of a cafe in Santa Teresa, where the rainy weather seems to make the city breathe differently. But don't let the rain get you down. Rio has so many options for cloudy days that, in fact, you will be surprised by what you can do, even when the sun goes down. If you're in Copacabana or Ipanema, the beachfront kiosks are great places to relax and watch the city go by as the clouds come and go. And if you have a keen eye for Rio's subtleties, the rain can even turn the streets of Leblon into a movie set. After all, Rio de Janeiro has a magnetism that goes beyond the weather. It's a city that adapts to you, just as you learn to adapt to it. A golden tip? When nature in Rio proves unpredictable, take the rain as an opportunity to experience Rio in a more intimate and personal way. Instead of letting the cloudy weather discourage you, how about a Rio de Janeiro tour within the city, exploring authentic neighborhoods like Lapa and Santa Teresa? Even on a gray day, Rio never loses its magic, and with the right mindset, you end up discovering a new layer of the city that few tourists have the chance to experience. Exploring iconic points. Rio de Janeiro. Who has never dreamed of seeing Sugarloaf Mountain up close, right? Just imagine, starting a vibrant Rio de Janeiro tour, where every curve in the road reveals a new surprise. From afar, that emblematic hill beckons, inviting you to unforgettable adventures. And the best part is that with images in Rio de Janeiro in 4K, it's as if every little bit of the city is jumping out of the screen. In Botafogo, the sea and the boats dance to the rhythm of the breeze, one of those scenes that, only when seen in person, you understand why nature in Rio is so celebrated. A practical example? Rent a bike at Aterro do Flamengo and cycle to Botafogo Beach, stopping to have a picnic in the shade of an almond tree. As you move through the city, Copacabana welcomes you like an old friend, stretching out its golden strip of sand while the Atlantic sparkles. Believe me, it's no wonder it's one of the best beaches in Rio. A golden tip for experiencing the Carioca spirit there? Walk along the boardwalk, sit at a kiosk and order a cold mate tea with a Globo biscuit, a tradition that has spanned generations. Then, continue your walk to Ipanema and Leblon, where the vibe changes, the crowd changes, but the beauty remains breathtaking. And look, if you want that iconic travel photo in the style of a travel vlog in Brazil, climb Arpoador in the late afternoon. The sunset there is a spectacle that you'll remember for the rest of your life. And of course, you can't talk about tourism in Rio de Janeiro without the majesty of Christ the Redeemer. From up high, he opens his arms to a city that pulsates between Rio's urban life and the exuberance of the forest. Climbing up to Corcovado is more than just a stroll, it's almost a welcome ritual to Rio. It's worth investing in advance tickets and going early, really early, to avoid the crowds and have that moment all to yourself, contemplating the world from up there. And do you know what's even more incredible? If the view from Christ is impressive, wait until you explore what comes next. Natural beauty. Santa Teresa Rio is one of those hidden gems that make any stroll a true discovery. Among hills that wind like rivers of stone, the garden-like neighborhood proudly displays its banana trees and flowering trees, a vibrant patch of green in the heart of Rio's urban life. It's curious how, on a simple stroll, we feel the force of nature in Rio mixing with the bohemian soul of the neighborhood. A good way to experience this? Take your time, perhaps on board the yellow cable car, admiring the colorful houses and stopping for a coffee at Largo das Guimarães. There, between one sip and another, you can feel that Rio is much more than beaches and samba. It is impossible to walk through Santa Teresa without noticing how the greenery tries, at all costs, to embrace the city again. On one side, imposing palm trees, on the other, vines that wrap around the old walls, as if they were silent guardians of history. This natural abundance contrasts, in an almost poetic way, with the view of the neighboring favelas. Think of the Babilonia favela, so close and so full of life and stories to tell. It is in this setting that Rio de Janeiro reveals its many faces, from the luxury of the colonial mansions to the human warmth of the communities. And those who are attentive will realize that, in the midst of this dance, the essence of tourism in Rio de Janeiro is precisely this mixture that challenges and enchants. Encounters with wildlife. If you think that you will only find wildlife in remote reserves, it is because you have not yet lost yourself on the hidden trails of Rio de Janeiro. During a tour in Rio, it is common to come across surprises that seem to come straight out of a movie. And so, without warning, the traveler came across a lively spider monkey in the middle of a local park. These encounters show how nature in Rio is alive and pulsating even in the most unlikely corners. Want to experience something similar? Explore Parque Lague or the trails of the Tijuca forest, and keep your camera ready, because in the blink of an eye, a curious animal could become the star of your travel vlog Brazil. The most incredible thing is that, in Rio, urban life and wildlife go hand in hand. While in Leblon or Ipanema the bars are teeming with beautiful people, in the green areas, thrushes and monkeys steal the show. It is this duality that makes tourism in Rio de Janeiro so fascinating. You can leave a charming cafe and, a few minutes later, be watching toucans soaring among century-old trees. A good practical example? Combine a morning at the beach in Copacabana with an afternoon at the botanical gardens. You will be surprised by the variety of species that inhabit this paradise in the middle of the city. Of course, encounters are not always as glamorous as a jumping monkey. Sometimes it is a shy capybara, or even a family of coatas crossing the trail. But that is where the magic lies. Rio teaches you to appreciate the unexpected, to respect the rhythm of nature even in the concrete jungle. And for those who dream of capturing impactful images for a 4K video of Rio de Janeiro, these spontaneous scenes are pure gold. And speaking of natural vibration, wait until you see how this energy is reflected in the daily life of the most authentic neighborhoods, such as Lapa and Santa Teresa. Urban vibrancy and local life. Ah, Lapa, Rio de Janeiro. It's hard to find a more vibrant place. Those who stroll through its streets feel the beat of drums, the smell of barbecue on the grill and the lively energy that only Brazilian culture can convey. Every corner holds a story. Each arch of the famous Arcos de Lapa is a frame for everyday scenes of pure authenticity. It's not uncommon to come across musicians improvising street shows or artists painting colorful murals. It's the kind of outing in Rio that puts a smile on your face without you even realizing it. Want an example of how to experience this? Visit the Feira do Livraggio on a Saturday and discover handicrafts, antiques and characters that seem to have come straight out of novels. And when it comes to authenticity, Santa Teresa Rio is no slouch. There, amidst the hills, spontaneous encounters with locals like the friendly Carlos